All right, so hey guys, we answered to guys. We're gonna do a match review for USA 3, Mexico 2. And guys, this was a game of all of your emotions. This will go down as classic. This will go down as a classic. This, in my opinion, was one of the best finals I've ever seen in my life, and probably one of the best USA Mexico games I've seen in a very, very long time. And to be completely honest with you guys, some of you guys will probably wonder, why is this coming out so late? The reason why, guys, the match started at basically 9:36 p.m. and basically ended around like 12 a.m. I want to say something like that, sometime past midnight. And obviously, you guys know I'm a late night person. I like to stay up. And so, obviously, I was able to watch this full game. And I'm so glad I did, because if I had just watched the highlights, man, it wouldn't be the same feeling, man. And what a game of football this is. What a game of football. And I have to give credit to Greg Berhalter here for winning his first trophy with the senior men's national team. And I think it's a very, very good achievement. Obviously, the players will be commended. And this was a game of highs and lows, man. This was a game of emotions. And I don't think I've ever felt so much emotion in one game in particular in my life. Like, the only other game that comes close to my mind is probably the Barcelona game against Granada. And obviously, this game is more significant because it is a final after all. So, yeah, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with the players on the day, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the players that stood out to me. We'll give you guys a brief summary of the game and then my overall thoughts. So let's start with the players I thought played really well today. So let's start with the USAFQC. So Zach Steffen, in my opinion, I thought he was pretty good. He made some big saves in the game. I thought he was really, really solid. I think he was pretty good, in my opinion. So yeah, I think he was good. I think probably the worst player today has to be McKenzie. He definitely was very bad today and nearly could have lost this game for the U.S. because he gave away a penalty towards the end. He also cost us the opening goal for the game. So you could argue he was very poor. I think Brooks, for me, was pretty good all around. I think defensively he was good. He was very, very aggressive as well, which I really liked. He had some feisty attitude, which I think is very appreciated. I think Tim Ream was very poor. I didn't think Tim Ream was that good, especially for that second goal we conceded. Yedlin, I thought, was all right. McKennie, I thought McKennie was excellent. I think McKennie, for me, you could argue, is definitely the man of the match. The fact that he was able to score a goal of his, and he also nearly scored a goal. He nearly scored a brace today, which I thought was pretty good. Acosta, I think, was okay. Dest, I thought, was pretty good. He was good. He looked good, and then, especially in the second half, unfortunately, he came off. Gina Reyna, for me, was pretty good in the game. I really liked Gina Reyna. I think Gina Reyna was pretty good. Sargent, for me, was very, very, And then Pulisic, for me, he was obviously very important. So then some of the players we got to talk off the bench. Obviously, we talk about Tyler Adams. I thought he looked good, lively when he came on. I think Ethan Horvath obviously was amazing, making those saves. And, of course, saving the penalty, which I thought was very, very massive indeed. Sebastian, I think it was okay. Leggett, I thought he was okay. Reggie Cannon, I thought he was okay. And Timothy Way, I thought he was good. So, there's a briefly, we'll talk about those players. And then as for the Mexico, I really thought that Jesus Corona, I thought, was pretty good. Lozano, he really got into it. He really wanted to score, and he had some good chances. Gallardo, obviously, I thought was good. I think Hector Herrera was pretty good. I think Ochoa, obviously, was pretty good. And then off the bench, obviously, you have to say, I think definitely Diego Lainez. I think he was very, very good. He was very lively. He came on caused a lot of issues for us, and I think he was very good. So overall, guys, it was a very, very heated performance, and what a game this was. So let's start with the first goal. Okay, the first goal came in from Jesus Corona, and obviously this was a terrible goal. Basically, McKenzie basically gave the ball away, and basically it's a free pass into him, and all he needs to do is to put it in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to them. And at this point, I was thinking to myself, are you kidding me, right? We're actually starting off the final, Nations League final, like this? I mean, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And I was having a lot of doubts in that, I don't know if we're going to win this. This is going to probably be a blowout. We're probably going to lose this very badly. And luckily, I was proven wrong. And Mexico nearly made it 2-0, which they actually did. And actually, guess what, guys? It was disallowed. So let me see if I can find it here. It doesn't show here for some reason. So yeah, there was a disallowed goal, and obviously John Brooks got very aggressive. You can see that earlier when he got that yellow card. And I think he actually got the yellow card, not for the challenge, but more so for his reaction, it seems. So yeah, let me go and see when the goal came. So disallowed. So yeah, let me see if I can find. So yeah, then Hector Moreno, he thought he doubled the lead. In the 26th minute, only for VAR to review to correctly rule his header off first offside. And at this point, when I saw it was 2-0 in the 26th minute, I was like, oh God, this is getting embarrassing. We're probably going to concede. It's going to probably end 3-0 to 4-0 to Mexico. It was just getting that ugly because defensively we were looking all over the place. you know. And then Gino Reyna equalizes from a set piece, and it was a great set piece from Christian Pulisic. McKennie tries to go for the header. McKennie's header basically hits the bar and basically hits the crossbar, and Reyna is there to tap on the rebound, and it's 1-1. I'm like to myself, wow, we have somehow come from 2-0 down to actually being 1-1, which goes to show you guys that these goals are incredible, you know. And for me, that was a big goal in the halftime grand scheme of things. And at halftime, it was 1-1. I was thinking to myself, okay, we have a decent chance, but I was still thinking to myself, I wasn't so sure of Mexico. I felt like Mexico still had the upper momentum because gradually as the game wore on, I feel like the USA actually was a better team, okay? And it's kind of weird to say this because this was kind of like a back and forth game, so it's kind of difficult for me to say this, but basically what I'm trying to say is I think USA before the halftime, I think USA were starting to look like the better team, and it's just defensively they were terrible. Defensively they were very, very bad, and that's why Mexico was so inviting the counter. The counter of Mexico is illegal. Mexico was incredibly dangerous in the counter, and there's that. So then Acosta got a yellow card as well. And then this is where I really question Greg Berhalter. Why in the earth do you take off Serginho Dest and put on Timothy Weah? For me, this doesn't make sense. You don't bring off a right back and for a striker. It just doesn't make sense, you know? And I couldn't understand it. So, in my opinion, I feel like Timothy Weah bringing him on was a good decision, but I think he should have came on for Sargent because I think Sargent for me was very, very poor. And I think this is another game of why he shouldn't have started, you know? And so there's that. So then, they also made substitutions on their own, and it was getting crazy. I remember Zach Steffen had to make some big saves. I remember there was one chance I think Hervé Lozano had, and we nearly conceded. It was a big, big save indeed. You know, and then Ethan Horvath come on, and I was thinking to myself, God, this is like getting so bad. I don't know, man. I didn't know because Ethan Horvath, from what I've read, he doesn't really play much. I think he plays for Genk, I want to say. Let me check. Where does he play for? He plays for, Club Brugge, and he's not really like a first-choice keeper. He barely plays that much. He's basically a backup goalkeeper, 25 years old. To be fair, Zach Steffen's also a backup keeper, to be fair, but obviously we know he's the main guy. So then, getting to that. And I was thinking to myself, oh, God, it's looking really, really bad. And then I saw they brought in Lainez. And I know Lainez is a very quality player, plays for Real Betis. And he's definitely a player that caused damage. And when he came on, he was looking very lively. It was a great assist from Hervé Lozano. And you could look at that goal from Diego Lainez. It was such a great goal. He was able to spring past all three of those defenders, Timothy Ream and all that. I think he even nutmegged the player on the way and to make it 2-1. And at this point, I was like to myself, oh, geez. And this was what I was thinking to myself, right? USA should score, but knowing how Mexico are, they'll probably just score one and just end this game 2-1. Because even though we have been the better team, in my opinion, I still do believe Mexico will score that goal and just seal the win. That's just what I had that feeling. And then a few minutes later, once again, from another set piece, Weston McKennie comes in and heads it, makes it 2-2. And I think of this point, I was like, oh my goodness, I am back. I mean, it's just crazy because I was like going like sign of frustration, and then I'm back to happiness. And Gino Reyna, what a cross that is to the box, and thinking to himself, look, it's 2-2. Let's see if we could try to go on to win the game, And then Greg Berhalter made this another substitution, which I thought was very odd indeed. I don't know why Gino Reyna came off. That was a very, very odd substitution in my opinion. I think he should have stayed on. In my personal opinion, I don't know why Leggett came on. I didn't think Leggett really changed much of the game. And I was so happy to see that Greg Berhalter finally put on Tyler Adams for Timothy Ream, because in my opinion, Timothy Ream did not have a good game, in my opinion. And I think Tyler Adams came on and made us a bit more control. And then you could see in the stoppage time as the game was wearing on, Mexico were starting to put on pressure. And it started to kind of shift to Mexico's favor. I think Mexico started to become the better team. They started to get more aggressive. They started to put more crosses in, and they started to look very dangerous. And obviously, Ethan Horvath had to make some brilliant saves, and he was just amazing. Amazing indeed. And towards the end, guys, and then there's that. Then I want to talk to you guys about this big, big decision just on the stroke of full time. And obviously, Hector Herrera hits Ethan Horvath. Now, in my opinion, I believe that should have been a red card because he deliberately hit the goalkeeper. And whether it's accidental or not, I think it should have been a red. In my opinion, it should have been a red because you don't do that kind of goalkeeper. And thankfully for us, Horvath was not injured because let's be real, if he was injured, it would have been game over for us, And I think for me, that was a big, big decision. And I still don't understand why the referee didn't look into that. In my opinion, the referee was very poor. The referee was very, very poor, in my opinion, today. I thought he did not have a great game. In my opinion, some of those decisions he made, some of those fouls he gave was completely very sus indeed. I didn't think it was right whatsoever. And this referee, in my opinion, was just poor all around. So then coming into the second half and extra time, you look at another challenge Hector Herrera did, I'm like thinking to myself, are you really not going to give him a second yellow or even a red card? I mean, it's just disgrace. I mean, I don't know what he did. I mean, basically, he did another sliding challenge, obviously. The studs were up, and I think Timothy Weah got injured in the process. He got a little hurt, and, of course, the ref didn't give anything. The ref was like, I'm not going to give anything. And then he finally, Mexico finally made the substitution, finally got rid of Hector Herrera. I was like thinking to myself, dang, this guy was causing so much problems for us, And then this is where things get interesting. So then Greg Welch makes a substitution, bring off Yedlin and bring on Reggie Cannon, which I thought was an interesting substitution. I don't know if that was necessarily the right decision, but, it is what it is. Then came the controversial moment. Then came the big moment, the penalty given. Now, in my opinion, I believe this was a penalty. This was a penalty 100%. He was taken down inside the box. It was a very, very aggressively. I didn't believe he might have won the ball in the process, but he did hurt Christian Pulisic. And like I said before, guys, when you take down Christian Pulisic, you're going to get the penalty. A penalty should be awarded, and he took down Christian Pulisic because, in my opinion, even though he did win the ball partially, I believe he still got studs on Christian Pulisic, and obviously that could have been a goal-scoring opportunity that could have happened. And Christian Pulisic was taken up, and it took a long delay. It was 114 minutes. I was thinking to myself, oh, geez. Please, Christian Pulisic, please score this. Because I had this feeling that I had this scenario where two things would happen, right? First of all, Christian Pulisic would miss the penalty, and Mexico would score on the late winner. That's what I had that feeling, scenario one. And scenario two, Christian Pulisic would score the third goal, and that it would basically be the final goal, and that we would go on to win. So there was two scenarios back in my head. Obviously, I was hoping for the second scenario. And Christian Pulisic steps up and scores a penalty to the right. Ochoa was nearly close to saving it. However, the penalty was so powerful indeed that it was just so good, and that Christian Pulisic made it 3-2. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. And then Christian Pulisic celebrated. Obviously, he took off his shirt. Obviously, got a yellow card and protested. I mean, we know we're not supposed to do that, but, he doesn't give a crap. And let me just say this right now about the Mexican fans. Yeah, they were very hostile. They're very hostile, and I don't condone what they did. I understand they're very passionate, and trust me, man, obviously, I understand you're passionate for your own national team, but you don't throw bottles, you don't throw beers, you don't do this kind of stuff at the other opposing team. You just don't do that, and I feel really, really bad for the USA players. I think Gino Reyna actually got injured in the process. He got a little blow to the head, and I feel bad for him, so I'm wishing him a speedy recovery in that sense. And Mexico fans, you better not do that. That's unacceptable, and I don't condone that. And and this was a very, very intense game, and then another penalty was given. And this is where things get interesting. So this is where a penalty was given on McKenzie for basically a handball. And basically, I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? Are you fudging me? Or are you actually going to give this penalty? Because in my opinion, if this penalty was given, we would have lost the game because I didn't believe we were going to win penalty shootouts. I mean, Ochoa, no. And I was thinking to myself, oh, come on, please, Horvath, make the save. And luckily for us, Horvath actually did make the save, guys. He went to the left and basically saved the penalty with his hand. Guardado tries to step up and score, and obviously it was saved. It was a great save from him. It was a very poor penalty, in my opinion, and that was the captain of the team, guys. And it ends. And that's it, guys. And then in the stoppage time, a lot of stoppage time was given because it was a huge delay for this penalty. And he got a yellow card in the end. And even a streaker came. I think even a pitch invader came onto the pitch and tried to help Mexico get more time. Get more time in the clock. To try to get that equalizer to force penalty shootout. But it wasn't to be. And what a game this was! What a game this was, guys! And I'm very, very, glad I watched this game because honestly, man, this game, watching the highlights, it doesn't do it justice. You got to watch the full game, guys. You have to watch the full game because this has to go down as one of the best CONCACAF games I've seen in a very long time. And this is a classic, guys. This is a classic indeed. So, overall, guys, that's my quick feelings of the game. So, let me go ahead and show you guys my thoughts. Obviously, I think this trophy is very, very important for Greg Berhalter. And I think for the U.S. men's national team, it allows them to blossom in the sense that it gives them that confidence to beat the Mexico national team. And we know that this Mexico national team is amongst the best in CONCACAF, and they generally are very superior. In fact, I think the last time USA actually defeated Mexico in a competitive game was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a very, very long time indeed. So it's a huge, huge win, as well as the fact that the last time USA actually defeated Mexico in the final, it was in 2007, where they actually had to come from behind to actually win this one. And what an interesting one here. We had to come from behind to win this one. We only led once in the game, and this one for me was a huge, huge victory in the sense. And I feel like we really showed what we wanted. We showed that we could do this, and we had the mentality, the mental courage. Because on paper, guys, Mexico are the better team. And let me just say this right now. This might seem a bit weird. I believe the USA have the better individual players. But as a collective unit, I think Mexico is better. I think Mexico is better. They have the more talented players. I'm not talented players. They have the better team. They have more cohesion. They have more chemistry. They have more experience. A lot of the players playing the local league, which I know people are going to say, oh, it's not really important. Of course it's important because it gives you the chemistry, the experience, and the assimilation. And I feel like for me, Tata Martino, he's made this team very cohesive, whereas USA, there's not really, like, it feels to me like more like individuals kind of carries this team. But I felt like today what we saw was a very good team performance of that. You saw Christian Pulisic was running down the flank. He was trying to make something happen. Gino Reyna as well. So overall, man, it was a big win for the USA guys. And I think it's a huge win for Greg Berhalter and his men. And I think this will be a huge win. Now, obviously, guys, I do want to make this clear that Greg Berhalter's job is not finished. Obviously, we know that we have bigger priorities. We have to try to go on to qualify for the World Cup. Obviously, we have to try to maybe make a good run and maybe potentially win the Gold Cup. And as for the Mexico national team, man, I believe they underestimated us a bit. And I think this is a big win, guys. This is a big win indeed. I'm very happy. Obviously, I didn't think we would actually be able to do this. And in my opinion, this is a big upset indeed. And I think for me, every one of you USMNT, everyone that's from the USA should be happy with this win, and I'm very happy indeed. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Like I said before, guys, I could go ramble on longer and longer. I think this is about it. I don't think there's anything else I can discuss about it. I think this has been a great match. I'm going to definitely remember this, guys, and I think this will go down as one of the best finals I've ever seen in my life. So this had everything, guys. It was very exciting, very dramatic, very tense, very insane. A lot of stuff happened in this final, guys. And it's going to go down in history as one of the best finals I've ever seen. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. So let me know what you guys think about the comments below. Is there anything big I missed? Because there probably is. It was a very long match, obviously, when extra time, 120 minutes. So obviously, I'm bound to have missed some important stuff. And obviously, guys, I'll be continuing to give you guys your content. So stay tuned for that, guys. A lot of videos are coming up to the channel. So hope you guys enjoyed, guys. Remember to comment, subscribe, check out my description below, my Twitter, Discord, and my email. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.